This free agency update is brought to you by Rider University. Schmeelk and Paul Dottino. According to reports and pending a physical and signing of the contract, the Giants have agreed to terms with offensive lineman Jon Runyan from the Green Bay Packers. Runyan started his last 2 years at right guard for the Packers. His second year in the league in 2021, he was a starting left guard after being drafted in the 6th round of the 2020 NFL Draft. Paul Dottino, Giants needed a guard this offseason to come in. Both their starting guards to end 2023 are free agents. They get one in Jon Runyan Jr.
Well, he is a young, experienced veteran, as you said, John. You like the fact that he's on the underside of 30, the fact that he has certainly played a lot of football in the National Football League, the fact that he's versatile enough to flop left and right and has proven it in actual game action. Those are all positives. The other huge positive is when he came out of Michigan as a tackle a few years ago, remember, his dad had played in the league for a long time and was an arch rival to Michael Strahan. When Runyan's dad was with the Philadelphia Eagles, it seemed like forever. So he comes into the NFL out of Michigan, and the Packers immediately converted him into guard, and that's where he has been a mainstay. This past season, he allowed only 2 sacks, so obviously the production has been there, and the Giants decided that they wanted to zero in on a guy who clearly has pedigree and has good character traits, obviously coming from his dad, who has gone on to very successful things after his football career.
Long for a guard, over 33-inch arms, 33 inch and a quarter, stands in at 6'4", 307-pound, former Michigan Wolverine. And Paul, it's his versatility, right? You need your guard to be able to flop both sides. The Giants need a starting left guard and right guard in terms of spots that are open right now. I imagine they'd probably slide him in on the right side, right in between Evan Neal and John Michael Schmitz, given that's where he started the last 2 years. But that versatility certainly is key.
Well, we know that the Giants are very thin at the guard spot. You don't know what's going to happen to Bredesen. You know that McKeithen and Azudu are coming off of significant injury problems. So let's face it, we all thought the Giants would target a guard in free agency. That was pretty obvious. The question was, who was it going to be? Would it be a guy who could swing from guard to tackle, a guy who could swing from center to guard? No, they went after a guy who is a guard. Make no mistake about that. That is what Runyan is. He's not necessarily a swing player, although he can play both the left and the right side.
No question about it, and a lot of success with the Packers, Paul, over the last few years. They've been a playoff team. They've run the ball well with Aaron Jones, with A.J. Dillon, and they've protected Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love pretty well.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing to keep in mind. He has played in a meat and potatoes offensive line that certainly valued the running game and balance. You know, this guy is not just set up and pass pro and expect to throw the ball 45 times a game. No, this guy understands what it's like to get down and dirty and really fight in the trenches.
Again, pending a physical, the Giants have agreed to terms with Jon Runyan, offensive lineman from the Green Bay Packers. For Paul Dottino, I'm John Schmeelk. It's all brought to you by Rider University. Stay tuned to Giants.com, the Giants mobile app, and our social media platforms for continued coverage of what the Giants do in free agency.